Gabriel, as I said, I've done some, I've led some book discussion groups with our book, The Second Coming. One of the things people are remarking about is that the interviews began in the year 2003, and so many of the things you prophesied, they've seen come true. One of the observations you made was that we were going to be experiencing, and we have been experiencing it for a long time, the higher vibration energies coming into the earth plane, which was raising consciousness. And one of the effects of this energy was that all systems, economic, government, religious, etc., that contributed to separation and inequality were going to be imploding.
Yes.
And it's just been extraordinary what we've seen, certainly on the economic plane, in the financial field, with what's been going on with companies and all of the global crises with currencies and all the rest of it. It's just really extraordinary. Can you the last interview I did with you, that's in the book, is 2007, so 3 years have gone by. And can you bring us up to date as what the effects of these energies have been having, and are we going to be experiencing more of the same?
You will be experiencing more of the same in different ways. First of all, you're going through a cycle from 94 to 2012, which is a cycle of the integration of duality. Duality is an experience of opposition where the pairs of opposites are concerned. You experience life through opposites. And you experience life through opposites in the physical world for the purpose of experience. Because one side reveals the other, reveals the other. The dark reveals the night reveals the day, where that is concerned. And so that is important to understand. And all of your systems are based upon those opposites, except you use them for duality. And all those dualistic systems now are shattering. They are in the process of falling apart. You're in the process of restructuring. That's because your dominant ray of consciousness that governs this 2,000-year cycle is the seventh ray of consciousness. And the seventh ray is the ray, it's the spiritual ray that reforms all material structure. It is the magical ray. And it is the ray that reforms all structure into a united form where the spiritual energy is concerned, because it is one of the highest vibrations where that is concerned. Also, your solar system is moving through, or the photon belt is moving through your planetary system, which is raising the vibration of everything physical. It has not yet penetrated the Earth. It's penetrated the outer planets. When the vibration is raised, it is a process of quantum physics. It causes an entrainment process. So everything of lower vibration starts to raise itself to higher vibration, and that creates a tremendous process of transmutation and transformation. And so everything that has been of a lower vibration that is related to control and the dramas of domination and separation that now comes into the unified field of those higher vibrations has to reform itself. And so the seventh ray is responsible for the breaking down of old structures and the reforming of new structures based upon the unified field. And so that's what's happening at this time. In this coming year, we call this coming year the year of the integration of truth, because it is the year that the soul is beginning to penetrate the personality aspect of your physical being and beginning to raise the vibration of all physical forms in a very real way. And it will be penetrating the first chakra or energy center or level of consciousness of the body, which is your survival consciousness, and the physical forms. So it will bring about, in the first quadrant of the year, the breakdown of old structures and the revelation and reevaluation of many things. Whereas the second quadrant of the year will bring about, in the second chakra of manifestation, the emotional chakra, will bring about the release of all attachments to the world of form as the source and substance of reality, and the seeking of the experience of life through pain and pleasure, which is what duality causes. And instead, because you see, when you see the world of reality as sourced in the physical, you are automatically in the experience of pain and pleasure. When you see reality as a source within, then you begin to contact the essence of the soul, which is the joyfulness and peacefulness of being. And so that's what's happening in this time that is concerned. The breakdown of the old forms and the restructuring. So you'll see a lot of both happening in this coming year. Breakdown and restructuring, breakdown and restructuring, or at least the penetration of higher consciousness into the old structures and the questioning of that, those old structures and their forms. And also the revelation of all the secrets.
Of secrets, you said?
Revelation of secrets.
Boy, we're seeing a lot of that right now.
We see that, yes.
The Wikipedia thing and all
Yes.
the rest of it?
All secrets being revealed. Everything is kept in secret. You see? Because as you move into a unified consciousness, as things start to interconnect, you can't have secrets any longer. All the secrets are revealed.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, the secrets that of the control dramas are being revealed, but also the secrets of creation are being revealed. As you are able to take responsibility for those powers of higher consciousness, and thus the energy of Michael, the energy of power, the power of creation,
Mm-hmm.
you see, that comes in. Michael is wielding a sword.
Right. It sounds like 2011 is a real prelude for 2012, which
Yes.
we've been all hearing about, and everybody, you ask 10 people to explain what 2012 is, and you get 10 different explanations. I think everybody is confused about what's coming up.
It's simply the end of history as you've known it, and the beginning of a new reality that introduces for the first time the initiation of multidimensional awareness. So you start to move out of time-space continuum, past, present, and future as your only frame of reference. You start to move into the interconnection of all things as a unified field of consciousness. And you start to interpenetrate that. And you start to experience multidimensional reality. The ability to perceive many things at once rather than one thing at a time.
Now, how is that likely to
And that moves you into the higher sensory apparatus of the soul.
how is that likely to affect the average person?
Well, it will, first of all, there will be a heightening of awareness in their 5 physical senses. Their 5 physical senses will become heightened in various ways. Where their seeing is concerned, they will start to create a joining together between insight and objective reality. So as you look at an object with your physical eyes and experience the sight, you would behind the physical eyes in the inner eye, you will start to understand immediately the reason behind the form, or the insight behind the form. Do you understand? The subjective
Right.
behind the objective. Do you see? That may come as an inspiration. It may come as an insight. It may come as a telepathic connection between you and the object. Do you see?
So people's awareness
It moves now to a higher vibration and multidimensional experience.
okay,
Now, it's not going to happen to the same degree for everyone,
of course.
because dependent upon where you are in your incarnational development is the amount of insight that you will be able to perceive as this is taking place, and that is as it needs to be. Because you don't want to overwhelm a grade 3 person who is in grade 3
Right.
with grade 7 information. That wouldn't serve any
Right.
purpose, you
Right.
see?
Mm-hmm.
But all of the levels are of equal value, do you see?
Right.
And they will receive an increased awareness and an increased ability to relate on the level of the penetration of the soul beginning to guide the personality or the lower self.
Are exposed to a great deal of spiritual wisdom in quotes, on the internet. And people, of course, have to bring their own judgment as to how credible it is. At the very beginning of Obama's administration, you said to me that the jury was still out, I think was the word you went about Mr. Obama. At the same time, we were getting a lot of spiritual endorsement of Mr. Obama, that he is in a sense, an instrument of spirit, working towards unity.
Which so is everyone.
Well, the point I was going to make was that that was different from what you were saying. So what I'm asking you now is, what observations would you make about Mr. Obama and his administration, especially within the context of the spiritual evolution of the United States?
You see, dear one, first you have to understand that these people that are heads of different organizations, whether it be a political organization, a social structure, a religion, this, that, or the other thing, they are simply symbols. They are simply representatives. Do you see? Mm-hmm. And the ones that control the representatives are the ones that have the so-called power. But what humanity has not yet a grasp of and has not yet understood in any way, shape, or form for the most part. Some individuals do, are beginning to grasp it. But is what power is. And power has nothing to do with control. So power is something that holds a tremendous responsibility because it is a position of service. Control and domination is not service. Do you see? Mm-hmm. Someone such as Mr. Obama, as you call him, doesn't have the ability to wield any real power because his actions and his decisions and choices as a representative are controlled by those behind the curtain.
Right.
You see, if you look at it from the position of a stage play, let's say, all of the technicians behind the scenes are controlling what you see in front of you, the illusion that you see in front of you. Do you see? Mm-hmm. And the actors on the stage are the representatives of that illusion that's being created. They are acting it out. Do you see? It is a bit like a magician performing a trick. He keeps your attention over here while he performs the trick over here, the sleight of hand. Do you see? The attention that he's keeping over here is the representative. Do you see? It keeps your attention. Choosing someone such as Obama as your representative is a wonderful foil for the general public because he believes very strongly in what he believes to be the truth. He is inexperienced where those behind the scenes are concerned, in the snake pit, as they sometimes call it. And he has naivete, but he also has a very innocent kind of ideology. He's very idealistic. And so that captures the attention and the innocence and the ignorance of the people. Do you see? And so he is like a distraction. But he is finding that as he serves in his administration, that he is becoming disillusioned with where his ideology is concerned and beginning to see his own naivete and lack of experience because he's seeing that he really doesn't have the power, and you can see that in the ways in which he has made adjustments and how he keeps trying to serve all sides where that is concerned and not make firm decisions that are without compromise. Do you see? The special interests are still in charge.
Right.
Your government is not a democratic government. There's no such thing as a democratic government. It is a corporate